Hi, I'm in the first two labs from Chapter 2. There's not a lot to them. They're very powerful, but there's not in the labs actually themselves. We're going to be using Windows sysinternals. It was developed by a company called Internals, and Microsoft bought them up. They have left a number of them as freeware. They've also taken some of their more powerful tools from a product that they use that Internals used to sell called EDR Commander, and they've included them in the desktop optimization toolkit. If you haven't got that, you need to. You can generate some diagnostic or some diag live CDs that you can do password recovery, recover partitions, that kind of stuff. Some of the stuff you can't do otherwise. You can see the entire toolkit at this link. You can actually run the individual programs with the command line. I usually do this from, I go ahead and put it run as administrator. This is the link you do from the command line, / for the server, / tools / the name, i.e. One of the things that is optional, but I recommend, they took in Windows 10, they took away the option, the context menu option that would let you open a command prompt at a specific folder. It makes it a whole lot easier to me. I put a link down here. You can Google it yourself. Basically what it works as, this is the sysinternal site. Notice you can go to the live. It gives you that link. It actually gives you a list of all the tools. We're not going to cover a fraction of the tools in this. Notice there's file and disk, networking, process security, systems information, miscellaneous. There's a lot of stuff for our Active Directory. We're going to actually, what we're going to do is we're going to download the sysinternal suite. I do this on all my systems. I put that in the root of C, like this. If you set it so you can do the command again, you can do shift right click, open command prompt. See all the files are there. I'm going to do TCP view. These tools are very similar to some of the utilities if you're familiar with the Nix environment, netstat, for example, or PS for processes. Notice it gives you some information: the name, the process ID, protocol, local address, local port, remote, whether it's established. Notice it's also telling you the three-way handshake status. Notice one of the things that's interesting is you've got I've got multiple sites open here. Notice that the what I'm trying to say. Notice that I've got multiple sites. The local ports are all different. That's how it keeps track of, even though the ports are on the server side are the same, the local ports are dynamically generated. One of the things that's really nice about this is there are occasions when, for example, you run a vulnerability scan against a server. It says that there's a suspicious process running on a port. Okay, these local ports. That they're actually remote if you're scanning from the outside, but they're the local ports. What you can do is you can backtrack these PIDs and look at the process itself and see the program that's running it. One of the things that's actually really nice is you can take this and go back in the Process Explorer and get more information about that. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do what they suggested in the lab. They said go ahead and open up Edge. I'm going to go ahead and open that up. Notice it's establishing, the Edge is establishing connections. Then I'm going to go in and I'm going to shut it, and it'll all go. Notice they all go red. It's going to all shut down here in a minute. Okay, and it's showing them close. One of the challenges with Windows is a lot of things run as a SV host or service host, and so you really don't know what they are. And notice they're listening. That could actually be a botnet. I'm not sure what it is, and we'll probably not in these two labs, but in later labs, I'm hoping that we'll get in. We'll actually show how to dig down and find out what process is actually and what file is actually running on that service host. Here's your Process Explorer. This gives you a little bit more information. It does not give you the port, for example, that the other did. It does give you the PID, and you can actually crosswalk those. The other thing nice is that it actually gives you a description. It tells you who it's from. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to do core sync. Let's do that because I'm not sure what that. Notice you can do this check virus total, and it's going to submit that hash, and then it's going to come back and it's going to give me a link. Okay, now I can go in and look and see what different services they're saying is adware. Everybody else is kind of okay with it. Some of these I would have to do some further research. It gives you more file detail, the name of the program, the product, who it is. This could all, that could be bogus. The signers are typically not. Notice that there's a validation code here. As a developer, sign that. A lot of information here that's probably beyond the scope of this little article. Notice you've got all your hashes. So there's a lot of things you can do with these tools. I'm going to close these. These are very similar. This is very similar to NetStat. One of the things I wish you could do, and you may be able to, is I don't know if there's a command line. Notice I can go process, properties, and it'll actually show me the executable command line. There's a lot of information, how many threads it's got. Okay, I don't have the debug tools installed. So you get lots and lots of information about it, each individual files. Very helpful in tracking down things that you're just not quite sure what they are, not sure if they're supposed to be running. Very powerful tools. For the most part, these are Microsoft, so it's not. It's the non-Microsoft stuff that typically you kind of look at. These are Adobe, sorted by manufacturer. Anyway, that's it. I'm going to make that the end of it. There are lots and lots of tools in here. All the PSs have to do with processes. Processes again. It's got stuff for page files, disk. If you haven't played with it, one of the real nice tools is the BG Info. And what BG Info does, I just do that little demo on that while we're at it. Let's do BG Info. And of course, I'll run this, so I got to agree. It lets me pick the things that I want to display on the screen, and which is nice because a lot of times you have students sit down and they're not necessarily, and we're going to apply that. And notice I've got all my information out here. Uh, very handy. You can customize this. You can put your own logo on it. It's another free tool. You got to have who is. Which lets you look up domains and stuff. All the stuff with AD, of course, is Active Directory. You can do Active Directory Explorer, AD Insight, AD Restore. So there's a lot of tools here. You can monitor your disk, for example. Anyway, I'm going to call it quit for today. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it helps. We'll get back and